Hello, everybody. My name is Jérôme. I'm the founder and CEO of Deeplink. Deeplink is a young AI startup based at EPFL. Our goal is to help our customer to implement AI in their business, and currently mainly starting with a chatbot, but not only. I'm very happy to share this virtual stage with my friend Laurent Charbonnier, who will introduce himself, I think. So, Laurent, the stage is yours.
Hello, thanks. So I'm Laurent Charbonnier. I'm co-founder and head of innovation at Loyco. Loyco is present in 4 different offices in Switzerland, in the whole Switzerland. So in Zurich, in Geneva, Lausanne, and Sion. So we are a kind of one-stop shop for SMBs customers, and we are mainly active in 4 different topics. First one is HR outsourcing. Second one, insurance brokerage. Third, financial services. So we do have a fiduciary within our companies, and the last one is risk management. So we are doing all that services for our customers, and we are about 500 customers, and we are managing around 42,000 employees.
Okay. Thank you, Laurent. Before starting, we would like to take this opportunity to thank AI Zurich and especially Sophie for the invitation and for creating this very interesting new format. And just to inform, it's a first for Laurent and me, and so we will hope that it will be okay. As you know, we are going to talk about AI and human resources, and we decided to cover this topic by going through a different step of the human resources processes, and to show that even if we talk about AI, the human and the machine can live together. That's why we name our talk the human resources journey driven by AI and human. So let's go. As you have already noticed, the first step in the human resource process is to list the needs that we starting by. And we need to define the required competencies. And in this process, AI today is helping us a lot by changing the paradigm. The well-known process is a push process. Normally, you publish a job description, you receive a CV, and finally you select some of them, and you have to send a rejection letter to the other. What it means? It's boring, it's long, and especially if you're looking at a very special CV, you often receive a lot of CV that don't match what you need. With the AI, you change the paradigm and you go to the pull paradigm. You ask the machine to browse the web for you and to find the best people that meet your requirements. So you just have to contact those few people, and the machine can tell you if your job description, for example, is too complex and if there is no one on the market. So finally, the machine can suggest a new description by prioritizing the needs and allocating them according to the market availability. And more of that, the machine can mix internal skill with external ones. This will require us to, but this is need to rethinking our classic schema and not longer to define our needs by position, but by the set of tasks. And I think, Laurent, it's something that you have a lot of experience, but this type of new organization, not by job, but by task. No?
Yeah, by skills. Yeah, we decided around 2 years ago now to switch the organization scheme in Loyco, and we do implement a kind of holacracy, and we call it Loycocracy because we slightly adapted to our real needs and the way we are working. So it's a flat org, real flat org, and in Loyco we are around 100 employees. So now it's a really flat organizations where people are getting roles, and behind each roles, we explicitly give them authority or co-authority for some tasks. So everything is really explicit. And for instance, some in each support organizations or direct organization where we do our delivering services for our customers, there are some guys that are getting the talent role, and these guys are in charge of recruiting people or skills within that team. And these kids, for instance, for one guy which was in the past working in the insurance team, is now at between 10 and 30% of this weekly time is now getting the talent role, and is really recruiting all the new profiles at Loyco, and these skills are granted to the other guys automatically. So yeah.
So the recruitment process now is not managed by only one people now in your organization.
Sure.
So you have already tested this type of new platform in your organization that can help you?
Yeah. So we tried some of them. So the one that I would like to talk today is something which is a French system which is called Smart Recruiters, where you can post on your requested skills, and you get a list of potential applicants, and it also includes the recruiting cost, so which is also interesting. So for instance, if you are getting to LinkedIn to get a profile, it's quite free, but if you are trying to browse job up or whatever, any organizations, then you could have 10% fees or these kind of things, depending on the profiles, on the matrix of salary. So it's really interesting. So I just encourage you to try it and see how it works. The idea is what you just explained before is not really implemented. So it means that currently, if you are looking for 1, 2, or 3 skills, it will give you the best candidates around the world. But if you want to split this between internal skills and what you're looking, it's not really implemented today. So it's a good thing, I think.
Okay. Thank you for your feedback, Laurent. So now you have selected the people, and of course, the next step, it's the process for the interview. For me, it's obvious that the AI can help a lot on this part, especially with the chatbot, because it's something that we master. Example, to schedule the meeting, to prepare the question maybe before to the interview, and they can help to, according to the profile of the people, can help you to focus on one thing. And why not to start the interview with the candidate? I don't know, Laurent.
Not sure. Not sure if that's the time to have the machines, because face-to-face interview, it's between 2 humans, and not sure it's really a good thing to have machines at that stage. But okay.
Okay, that's why we need to human and machine. Thank you, Laurent. I will keep it in mind. And okay, we leave this part to the human. But on the other hand, we did agree with Laurent that maybe we'll use AI for after the interview, and especially for maybe to review the interview, maybe to help you to highlight something that's happened well or not, and to prepare the next step, for example, the proposition, if you like to do that, or we speak about contract management, and this part AI can very be helpful. after when you have interviewed the people, you have you have selected a new interview. Now you would like to, of course, you have decided to hire the people and to onboard them. Here again, the AI can help the process, especially for example, for the facilities assistant, for the workplace location, for the laptop, and for all these things. It's could be very the same thing that you can see on the supply chain system, where the AI helps to optimize this process. And AI can help for internal process too, for example, for IT pricing or HR. But Laurent, maybe human resources is your domain. Maybe you can have an idea about that.
Yeah, there are two things at that level where it's really useful and where we use it. In IT, just for the provisioning of all the accounts, single sign-on, all the accounts within all the systems, provision the emails, and so on, all the background activities before the new applicant is coming are handled by AI. Same for the HR. So the idea is to really automate the employee onboarding. So it means that right after the recruiting process, we already are able to create the employee within the HR systems, within the payroll system, pre-ask or in case of the work permits, all the AHV, all the LPP and so on. So perform the announcement. So all that activities are today triggered by workflows and automated at Loyco. So that's why that's where we are delivering most of our services. So this, yeah, for sure, this one can be orchestrated by AI for sure.
Okay. So, but there are one part where excuse me, we agree together. It's for the welcome cycle, and we think that this is very a human part, and to invite people to drink some things, to know each other, and to drink a beer or other. These things we like with Laurent, so we encourage you to keep it on your mind for the human. But the human resources process doesn't stop here. Of course, while the employee is working in your company, you need to follow up with them, because a lot of things can change. And again, here AI can help. And maybe Laurent, you can speak about the Loyco services, because it's exactly your job, no? For the follow-up and for the change and the mutation?
Yeah, we do implement a few months ago. So now it's two years now. About to manage planned and unplanned absences. So it means that if you need to, you can create a sickness absence directly using a bot. You can ask for data mutations directly using a bot. So, for instance, if you want to change your marital status, or if you got a new child or whatever, it's just a set of queries that are delivered by a bot, and then it's automatically announced to the HR. Same for payslips. So if you want to ask for the latest free payslips, for instance, if you need them for any reasons, so you just ask a bot, and the payslips are delivered right away. So all that things are really interesting. It's more or less an employee self-service driven by AI, and it's really interesting to think about that one.
Because in Loyco you have already implemented a chatbot for answer to the question of your customer, huh?
Yeah, sure. So we do have an helpdesk for absences, illness, and accidents, and we also used a bot connected to our Sky for Business telecom system. So it's a Skype bot, let's call it like this, where you can we try to detect the intention of the people that are calling us, especially. So we are trying to authenticate them through a set of few questions, and then when we know for who is calling on for which kind of services they want to call us, we are able to automatically create an illness absence, for instance, after 3 days. So we are delivering our services, so we will call them that to get the medical certificates and so on. But that's the same. So for instance, when they are back at work, they can directly call the bot and just announce that they are back at work this morning or whatever. So it's currently it's not really 100% in productions, to be honest. We try to use it outside working hours for some of intentions, and because we are trying to improve it. And the next couple of months, we will implement a multi-language purpose on that bot to be able to handle to our customers in 4, 5, 6 different languages. And it's also interesting because this kind of features now that are really available is that after 6 or 7 seconds of conversations, the bot is able to evaluate the language of the people that are calling us and propose to switch on their natural language. So it's really interesting.
Okay, for maybe just to add some things for the people are not very technical people. This process is called speech processing. It's just to recognize the language and to recognize that it's some people. And after you use the techniques called natural language processing for the interpretation of what the people say. Huh? Okay, so this is a term that maybe you will meet during the conference or other, and you will meet in the AI domain, speech processing and natural language processing. Okay, thank you for this feedback, Laurent. It means that we will speak about that later, but it means that you can be a small company and use AI in your process and to be very efficient for you. On the human resource process, of course, the last but not the least, what to say, unfortunately, one day the employee will leave the company and you have to face many needs, and the AI can help again. And for example, for the data privacy compliant, because you know that maybe you have some retention of the data, but for certain times, and some information you have to delete. Remember that you have help during the onboarding, and of course you will have help for offboarding assistance, because you can vacating the workplace, and maybe you need to stop access and so on. And maybe something that I would like to speak is about reference letter. You know that at the end of the contract, employees ask you to have a reference letter. And for that, AI make a lot of progress, and especially, for example, the Google algorithm that create one algorithm can help to write a book from a small summary. Yeah, yes, you really hear, write a book from a summary. So maybe you can imagine that we can do with that for the reference letter, just to have a different summary of the job position of your ex-employees and create a reference letter. It's not for now, but just to open your mind about what we can do and how AI can help. Sorry. So for the takeaway that you like to provide with Laurent, it's 2 dimensions. The first one, it's about data, more technical. It's clear that when you handle the data of the people, you have to take care about the privacy. You know that we have a lot of regulation about that, and it's your job as a owner of the company to thinking about what you do with the data of your employees. So thinking about that. Another thing, it's when we speak about data, it's the bias of algorithm. I just would like to highlight a little bit about that. It's if you remember the story of Amazon, the hire process was was not good, because the machine decided to hire only men and not a woman, just because there are one bias created at the beginning of this process, because the machine used only men CV, so the gender was not one high criteria. So it's something can happen. It's not the fault of the machine, it's just maybe the fault of the data, and maybe it's the fault of the lack of data. That's one result. Often when the people who like to implement AI, the first issue is that a lot of data is missing. But it's something that we have to thinking about that when you start a data. Laurent, you would like to speak about other things, maybe? Huh?
Yeah, sure. Just the main things for me is if you want to avoid lack of data on these kind of things, it's really important for especially for SMBs to share all their data, to share all the services, and to not start on your place, because you start from scratch each time. So it's not really good. For me, what is really important we really often heard collective intelligence word, and what it means. According to the MIT, it's human plus AI, and it's really important for me. It's human plus AI. So it's not human on human and make things better when they're together. It's human can be on human tasks can be augmented by AI, and AI is augmented by human experience, for sure.
But often we say that when the task is repetitive, not very lot of added value, and the time consuming, we can replace it by the machine. But we need the input of human to put to put intelligence, to put their feedback, and to review it, etc. No?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. Especially, for instance, when we are at Loyco, when we begin to start the implementation of the Skyboat we talked before, for sure, if you got 100 calls per day, 100 times you will ask for the same 3-4 different questions to authenticate the people that are calling you. So, for example, just this part of the call can be performed by the bot. So that's exactly what we are doing with this kind of things. But at the end, if you call to the help desk just to declare your accident and so on, so you will talk to one guy, which is with a real guy with a real certificate in insurance in personal insurance in Switzerland, that will help you to correctly declare your case to the insurance, for sure.
Okay, so I'm sure that when you implemented the first time the AI, some people was a little bit afraid to lose their job, and maybe they need to have one step to understand that the bot never replace the human, but more to have added value for them, and to, that you say, manage people and not more the processes.
Yeah, but okay, there are two different things. Why we implement a bot for mainly two reasons. The first one is that, to be honest, is that we want to handle more cases with the same number of people. So it means that we won't fire anybody because we are implementing bots. But instead of taking care about 100 customers, maybe with the bot we will take care about 130 customers using the same staff. That's one thing. And the second one is it's really a key differentiator with our competitors. So it means that we are able to implement cool things with the same number of staff, and they are not available to our competitors. So it means that it's a key differentiator for us. So that's the two main triggers to operate this kind of things. But yeah, for sure.
But you fire nobody in implementing a chatbot.
No, definitely not. No. Sure. But the people were afraid at the beginning. But it was one of the. But it's pure change management. I mean, if you change Outlook by another email software, people will be afraid. If you change the way they have to talk to customers, because we know now that the people are already authenticated or these kind of things, that's pure change management. So everybody is on the different side when you try to change something on their day-to-day work. That's the same. But if you correctly explain them that they want to end some things that will take care of their current job in the next couple of days, the key point is transparency, and to be sure that you onboard all the people, even during the implementation of the testing phases of the bot. At the beginning, the people were just trying to say, okay, the AI is really bad because they don't understand what I'm saying, they don't understand what for which reason I'm calling, and so on. And after a few days, we start to have small win-win, and then it's really easy to augment the learning curve of on the deployment of the bot, for sure.
It's clear. It's something that we really know in our job, current job in Deeplink, because we are creating one platform to manage the data set, to the training data set for the bot, and it's clear that we can see this curve. And Laurent, I would like to thank you a lot for your feedback, because you can show that's a small company, because you are 100 people, less or more.
Still a startup.
Yes, and that in your company you have implemented AI, and so AI, your company is a proof that AI is accessible for SMB.
Yeah, sure.
That I think it's very important for the people that watching this video, and so we are with Laurent. We are available during the virtual classroom that will be open during the day, and to answer to different questions. I would like to thank you again, Laurent, for your contribution. I would like to thank you, AI Zurich, and hope to have a discussion, virtual discussion, and with you as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.